If you remember, I said, I'm going to my real boss, and I came to you because I know where my power lies. I asked you to stop watching the show, and thank God Almighty for you, you did. You made that show worthless because without your eyes, it's nothing. And when you stopped watching it, they called me, and I got my name back, and I got my license back, and I got my show back, and they paid me millions of dollars. Thank you very much.
Oh boy, Comedy Central, how much did that hurt to sign that away? Oh boy, CBS and Comedy Central, how much did that hurt after what Dave Chappelle did to you? Well, you know, we got a lot going on here, and we've been discussing a lot of situations in Hollywood, the streaming wars, the anime wars, and, you know, the criticism against certain people, certain actors for their beliefs, their IPs, and stuff like that. You know, Twitter is not the court. We have fans out there that love so many things. And it's being ruined by a minuscule of people out there. A minuscule. And believe me, the fans outweigh those minuscule people. And the fight is coming to their doorsteps, including the big companies. And if you clicked on this video, you're wondering where we're going with this. That's right, folks. Dave Chappelle, the man who asked you, the fans, stop watching the Chappelle Show. Don't watch the Chappelle Show. Don't go to Comedy Central. Don't go to these other IPs. Anybody who has it and watch it, stop watching it because I got to get paid. I have not been paid. They have taken my license and basically used it illegally. That's right. If you haven't seen these videos, click on it. It is funny as hell because Dave Chappelle got his redemption. He just released a video just a couple of days ago, you know, saying that basically he has gotten his IP back. He's gotten his identity, and he's gotten paid. Let's take it from the insider here. Dave Chappelle thanks fans for boycotting Chappelle Show as the sketch series returns to Netflix with his permission. Chappelle Show is once again available to stream on Netflix as of the 12th. In a 10-minute video titled Redemption Song on Thursday, Dave Chappelle said that the sketch comedy series would return to the streaming platform on Friday, February 12th, months after it was removed at his request, which you know, as much of the situations that are going on with Netflix, and we know we talked about it, I applaud Netflix for doing the right thing on that. Chappelle Show, which aired in Comedy Central from 2003 to 2006, was pulled from Netflix in November as a result of Chappelle's pay and licensing dispute with Viacom CBS, Comedy Central parent company. I never asked Comedy Central for anything. If you remember, I said I was going to my real boss, and I came to you because I know where my power lies, he said in the video, which appeared to be from his recent tour in Austin. And that's right. His real boss are you, the fans. You're the ones who pays for his tickets. You're the ones who pay for his DVDs and all the other DVDs and specials, and you go to his concerts and stuff like that and pay money. You might pay money for a t-shirt or something of that nature, but yet you support Dave Chappelle, and that's the way it's supposed to be. He continued, I asked you to stop watching the show, and thank God Almighty for you. You did. You made the show worthless because without your eyes, it's nothing. And when you stopped watching it, they called me. Chappelle, who abruptly exited the show in 2005 and got his name, his license, and his show back as a result of the boycott, adding that the new deal earned him millions of dollars. The comedian thanked the Netflix CEO, Ted Sarandos, for removing the Chappelle Show in 2020. After he asked, even though I was a financial detriment to the streaming platform. Chappelle also thanks Chris McCarthy, the president of Viacom CBS, MTV Entertainment Group, for having interest making the past right. Finally, after all these years, I can say to Comedy Central, it has been a pleasure doing business with you, he said. In a statement provided to USA Today's, McCarthy said, Dave Chappelle is one of the greatest comedians of our time with a defining voice of the Comedy Central brand. After speaking with Dave, I am happy we're able to make things right. Chappelle Show is also available to stream on HBO Max, which previously was removed at the end of 2020. You know, there are some things I agree and I disagree with Dave Chappelle. But yet, he is a great comedian of our time. You can agree and you can disagree with somebody. But when you sit there and try to destroy his career, try to take over someone's career and make money off of his back without paying him, that's wrong. If you could hear me, Disney, right now, and the rest of you in Hollywood, for those of you who have denigrated this comedian, there are those out there who have tried to put him underground, but he wouldn't let it up. It's the same thing with Gina Carano. You know, they say, well, that's the same. It is the same. It is the same thing. Because there are those who don't like Chappelle and would like to see him gone. There are those who don't like Gina Carano and they like to see her gone. But let me tell you something. They are entertainers. They have their fans. Kevin Sorbo is another one that's in the news right now in the same situation. These people have IPs. They are people who entertain us day in, day out, no matter what their political spectrum is. And like I said, there are things I agree and disagree with Chappelle. But he is straight from the hip. He shoots straight from the hip. And when it comes to a great show as the Chappelle Show, I think one of the greatest IPs to come out of Comedy Central. I understand what Dave went through. The stress of having something as popular as this. Now you may ask yourself, what is it from here? Where do we go from here with Dave Chappelle? He has his intellectual property back. The Chappelle Show belongs to Dave Chappelle. Could he make a major deal to do, what was that, season 4? A season 4 of the Dave Chappelle Show, of the Chappelle Show. It is a good possibility. Probably some legalities have to be, as I say, dot I's, cross T's, but I would not put it out. Would it be the same as the original? No, there are probably some changes he would make. That's if he does it, if he has it. But, you know, knowing Dave, he probably will do something of that nature. He is that funny. He's got a deal with Netflix. He has a major deal. And they would, let me tell you, they would put up the money. They would not have no problem putting up the money for this kind of a production. Could you imagine? Could you imagine the Chappelle Show returning to your screens? What can he do that he has not done yet? And there's plenty that he could do. And some of it I might agree with, and some of it I might not disagree with it. But still, he's a comedian. We need people like him. We need people like Kevin Sorbo and Gina Carano and all the rest. Because they're people who speak their minds. They're not afraid to sit there and say, listen, there is a problem and we have to resolve it. And they do it with the characters they play, the comedy that they may put out in Dave Chappelle's instance. But yet, like I said, there are those who would see comedians like Dave Chappelle gone and other people gone because they don't like them. They don't like what they represent. But let me tell you something. You're not going to get rid of these people anytime soon. Because basically, and I've said this before, Hollywood is in ashes. There is a new type of entertainment field building, and independent firms. I'm glad to be a part of some of it. We here at this Cuticast Television, Man with the Show, we're trying to build an IP ourselves. We have for a very long time now. We've had many different names and iterations, and we've tried our best. This is now the time, and I'm glad I joined at this point because I could see what is in the future. There are things coming ahead where people like Dave Chappelle, and Kevin Sorbo, Gina Carano, and many others that are going to build their IPs independently without Hollywood. And they will do a fantastic job, and they will make money. And that's the thing, they will make money because people will flock to see them. The old saying, build a better mousetrap, people will bang down your door. And this is what's going to happen. Chappelle, and I believe this, Chappelle's going to be one of them that's going to lead this charge. He's going to build his own intellectual property up and expand outward. Because he's a funny guy, and he's very intelligent. He's been around a long time. I've seen so much of his stuff. So many movies and bits and stuff like that. He's great. He's fantastic. And I'm glad that he's finally gotten paid. Like most of us, we didn't realize he didn't get paid. All that money that was sitting there, Comedy Central just said, no, Viacom CBS. See, this is the thought. Why are all these shows failing from Viacom CBS? Because they don't know what they're doing. They're screwing up with people like Dave Chappelle. Right now, Comedy Central has canceled most of their really good shows. Drunk History, Tosh.0. What are they replacing it with? Cartoons! Reboots of old cartoons that they're going to freaking woke wash, however you want to call it, puritanize it, and just completely butcher it. Not to the point where you can identify what it looks like. You may think it's what you used to see, but it's not. And I'm so glad that Dave got his IP back, because who knows what they could have done with his stuff. So if you've made it to the end of this video, thank you for watching. Don't forget to comment, like, subscribe, share, hit that notification bell. You know when we have new episodes on a daily basis. Thanks for tuning in, and we will see you on the next one. Congrats, Dave Chappelle. And you're rich, biatch. Bye-bye now.